sponsored by FloRacing, Climb, Wild River Jerky, and Core RV aboard the number 53. Say hello to Cody Cam.
Cody, this is a track you've had success at in the past, a win last year, but you're coming off that foot injury. How's it feeling, and do you think you can repeat that win from last year?
Yeah, I love this tight racing and the small track. I had fastest lap time in practice, so that made me feel a lot better about my foot injury, and just looking for a good start and finish the races strong tonight.
Good luck. This is Cody Cam.
Sitting in the number 3 spot in the AMSOIL Pro Point standings, riding this year for Theme Motorsports, is our next competitor, who hails from Saint-Félicien, Quebec, in Canada. He's sponsored by Skidoo, FXR, North American Trailer, Aluminum Cabinet Companies, and Classic Construction. Here's Francis Peltier.
Francis, new team for you this season. It looked like you started to really get comfortable a couple weekends ago in Shakopee. This is a place you've been fast in the past. You looking forward to this weekend?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's going to be a nice weekend.
What's the key to getting a good start and getting the win here in Deadwood?
Oh, just be consistent. There's a lot of start tonight, so let's get it.
Good luck. Francis Peltier on the 220.
Your current runner-up in the AMSOIL Pro Point standings might very well be the king of the AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown format. He hails from Björnsson in Sweden, riding for Juddy and the Judnick Motorsports team, sponsored by Polaris Racing, Climb, Wild River Jerky, Core RV, and SSI decals on the number 31. Here's Emil Haar.
Emil, you won here last year, and this Triple Crown format has really suited your strengths. We talked about that earlier in your trailer. What do you need to do here tonight to get on top of the box again?
I think tonight it's really important to be consistent. There will be a lot of people on this track, and it will be tight, but I will do my best to end up good.
Good luck. This is Emil Haar.
And sitting atop the point standings coming into this round 5, the 5-time AMSOIL Snocross AMSOIL Pro champion from Oppdal, Norway, this year riding for the Skokvest race team, sponsored by Northland Concrete and Masonry, along with the folks from Skidoo, FXR, and Rieger companies. Here is the Viking Rocket, Elias Ishul.
Elias, you showed a ton of speed a couple weeks ago in Shakopee. Probably could have swept the weekend if not for a broken suspension. What do you need to do this weekend to get on top of the box again?
No, I'm just gonna go do the same. Deadwood is always Deadwood. You never know what's gonna happen, but we're racing and we love it. And yeah, put on a good show for the awesome fans out there, and yeah, hoping for a good one.
Good luck. Keep an eye out for Elias Ishul on the 200.
Okay, if you've never seen a racetrack at Deadwood before, don't blink. Robbie, take us around for a lap.
All right, we got a drop-down start into a few rollers. Then this is where it starts to get tricky. We're going to jump in over this tabletop. These whoops right here get really, really steep. And then you have a choice, inside, outside. A lot of guys elected to go inside. Shorter, right? Well, it is, but if you go outside, you can triple, and then you can double, and then you can get to that finish line first, hopefully. And that is a lap here in Deadwood.
And look at how much room you have to shut it down coming off that AMSOIL finish line jump into that FXR Skidoo turn complex. You don't even have time to blink.
Yeah, that is one thing here that is, oh, going into some action from a weekend 2 weeks ago.
Rounds of AMSOIL Championship Snocross, and we are going to get the party started tonight with the first round of Pro Lite qualifying. We'll have, it looks like, 3 heats in Pro Lite to get things rolling here this evening.
Yeah, Pro Lite has been full of action, but one thing that has been consistent has been Creighton Dillon in this class. He has won every race, and he is on a mission this year. The young phenom from Canada, looking good. So pay attention to him. But Toby Posty showed some speed. Answered Shield last weekend. And Shakopee also another one that was starting to battle for some podiums. So it's starting to heat up there. And with this short track, anything can happen. A bad start, some lappers, someone falls down in front of you, that can really change your night.
So the racers up at the starting line. Sleds have not fired yet. That's why the headlights are off. That's how you tell the difference between a pro light sled and a pro sled.
That is right. I see some old veterans in there. We got the 72, the 36, Warren Todd. So here's our lineup for the first heat.
Yeah, Bobby Pagel, another guy that has spent time in the snow bike division. Devin Denman been doing this for a little while. Keep an eye out on Nick Lorenz too on that West Coast Custom sponsored number 2 sled.
I love where Nick Lorenz is right now. His headspace, the way he was riding in Canterbury was amazing, and he is going to be tough to beat.
Dropping down off the elevated start. Here we go. Pro Light round 1 begins. Blast off the outside lane. That is Evan Christian who's going to hit the lane split. Archibald and the 901 on the inside. Inside lane wins the day so far.
Yeah, look at Evan. Does that triple like I said in the pre-lap. So he goes into the lead there.
And look at that. Kenny Mandrick decided he wanted to play at the party, and now he elbows his way up into second. It looks like he's got some company alongside him. That might be Corin Todd trying to move up there.
It sure is. Corin Todd, the old veteran, 30-plus rider, doing some work. But now remember, this track is perfectly groomed right now. It is only going to get rougher from here. And you can see in this corner, everybody's really fighting to get turned because it is so flat. As the race wears on, you're going to see a big berm build up and a lot of black passing.
Here is your race leader, Evan Christian, working his way up into the Arctic Cat Polaris corner. Great view from above here, so you can see that lane split and a little hip check action there from Corin Todd to try to keep Archambault at bay as they're racing back there for 3rd and 4th.
You see Mandrick kind of battling in that second spot. I really like what I'm seeing out of Mandrick this year. He's always been fast, but he's really lacked in the consistency. And this year, it seems like he's starting to put that together. The speed is always there. Now the consistency is starting to come together.
We see rolling the outside lane now. Corin Todd trying to roll up here on Kenny Mandrick, and here he comes. And look at the crossover. Veteran maneuver right there. Didn't get it that time, but he was close. He can tell the move's going to be there.
Yeah, he sure can. And look at Corin. He is not messing around here. He is trying to get that spot back, and he is, he's probably a good 10 years older than these guys out here. So it is awesome to see Corin battling.
That also means he has 10 more years of riding on the short track here at Deadwood versus some of these riders too, and I'm sure that experience is a big help.
It sure does, but as this race wears on, that's where it's not going to help. That elevation, it's not that high. We're only about 4,600 feet, but it's enough to start to wear on your lungs a little bit. It's definitely something on the snowmobiles.
Now Archambault trying to get to the inside. Couldn't quite make the move there. Meanwhile, Mandrick continues on, and Evan Christian 2.5 seconds up the track, just flashing out of the frame on the red number 33 machine. Holding on to the lead here as the laps wind down in this Pro Light qualifier.
Yeah, and you can see Lorenz battling back in that 5th. He's just getting into our camera shot there, but so obviously not the start he was looking for, but Kenny Mandrick putting himself in great position. But this guy here, whole shot, clear track, has that outside triple-double going.
Kenny Mandrick cranking his way through the U.S. Air Force Flyway. There's that triple that Robbie was just referring to there from the outside lane. Continuing to chase after Evan Christian, but as long as Evan keeps himself upright here, he should be able to cruise home with a qualifying round win.
Yeah, he sure can, and that's exactly what you want to do. You want to stack those chips. You want to get into the qualifiers, place as well as you can, get yourself into that final. Good position on that starting line, and here we go, battle for 3rd.
Corin Todd trying to hang on. Archibald trying to carve underneath there. Not quite enough room. Let's see if he goes for the lane split. Yeah, he's going to go to the inside. Looks like Corin's going to go to the outside. There's somebody, a lapper there. That might make the difference.
Now watch, though. As that outside, everyone keeps going to it. It is going to wear out. And look at the pass gets made right there in front of us. Corin gives up a spot as they go over the checkers.
So Evan Christian getting the win, Mandrick finishing 2nd, then Archambault sneaking in there ahead of Corin Todd. Nick Lorenz wound up finishing in the number 5 position here in our first heat race in Pro Light. Now we've got 2 more heat races here in round 1 of Pro Light. Heat number 2 is going to be coming up in just a moment. And for those of you that are here on the grounds, we have the winner, Buffalo Border gift certificate. Okay, it's a $50 gift certificate. And this goes to Paul Gibson, who is here from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Paul, head over to the South Dakota Snowmobile Association tent. That's where the Skidoo is that's being raffled. They'll hook you up with your gift certificate there. Thank you, sir. We'll do another one of those a little bit later for our crowd that is on hand here at the Days of 76 Rodeo Grounds. So we're getting ready for the second heat here in round one of Pro Lite, Robbie. And I've got to think that because this track is so small and things happen so quickly, this has got to be the most mentally demanding track of the entire series.
Yeah, the challenge at this track is you just don't know where you're at. Once you get into lappers, if you get the whole shot and you're out front, it's great. You know exactly where you're at. But if you, like, say, start fourth and you're starting with roost in your face from the beginning, you really start to lose sense of where you're at on the track, and that is the challenge. So as you get into the finals, you just can't give up. You've always got to keep pushing. You get yourself to the front, or at least try to keep pushing to the front, because you just never know where you're at, what's happening, who's a lapper, who's not a lapper, and that's the biggest challenge on this course.
A couple of guys here that put on a show, whether they're racing for the lead or racing at the back of the field, are on screen right now. On the left, the 43, that's the Topi Posty machine out of the Makita Skidoo shop for Warnet. And then alongside on the 157, that is Troy Horbani. And Troy's got a little extra added accessory on top of his helmet, Robbie.
Yeah, he sure does. And all that is there for is to block the roost. The snow is so sticky and wet and heavy at this point, and when you get out of a corner and there's someone in front of you and they hit the gas on that snowmobile, that snow is coming out of there so fast and heavy at you, and if you can try to block a little bit of that and give yourself a split second of vision, it makes such a massive difference.
Tyler Ullman rolling up to the line there with the number 25 Arctic Cat. You can see the number there as he shuts the headlight down, sheds the pit coat, go through his pre-race ritual. What was your pre-race ritual before you got on the button?
I don't really remember now that I think about it. Probably said a little bit of a prayer, just keep myself safe and rip that start. Always get the whole shot.
There's a look at the lineup for this second heat in round one of Pro Lite. We have Showtime, Jesse Kirchmeier in there, Drew Freeland, Bailey Forrest, Jordan Beese is in there. He's shown some speed in the previous couple of rounds, so got a pretty evenly matched group, I'd say, coming out here for heat number two.
Yeah, Bailey Forrest showed a lot of speed. Topi Posty, keep your eyes on him. Obviously, Eric Downs, he's been ripping starts this season. And then, of course, the Cowboy, Kirchmeier. You never know what you're going to get out of the Kirchmeier. He is always willing to bring it, and that is why we love watching him race. Slightly squirrely, a lot of heart, always going for it.
No, he's a guy that he races on the edge of control, and that's usually people say you're at your fastest when you're on the edge of control. It's a question of whether or not you're comfortable doing it.
Yeah, that's right. And there's another one, Freeland, right there. He has been fast. He obviously started the season with a little bit of an injury with a broken ankle, and is kind of having to race himself back into shape. Not always fun, always hard, especially on these tight little courses. You're always kind of leaning on that ankle. And unfortunately for him, we're in Deadwood. A lot of corners, tight racing. But fortunately, get out front early. You can see how Evan Christian won that first round.
So welcome to one and all watching. Here is our PerTech track report. Temperature right now sitting at 36, wind chill. It feels like it's 32. It's freezing out.
I'll take this. Two weeks ago at Canterbury, that was cold. This is beautiful.
Yeah, this is like a heat wave by comparison. Yes, absolutely. It was as high as like 43, 45 degrees during the course of the day today. Same weather expected here in Deadwood, South Dakota tomorrow as well. The most important thing, though, down there at the bottom of the screen, snow conditions, wet and icy.
Sure is. And that's going to be the challenge. I'll keep saying it over and over. Vision is going to be everything. And we're getting ready to go.
Launch for heat number 2 here in round 1 of Pro Light. Here comes the rush. 3, 4 wide in the back.
Toby Posty jumps out early.
Oh, and we almost had 2 sleds land on each other. Freeland almost landed on Bailey Force. Bailey comes out with the lead. Toby honking the horn on the outside.
Yeah, look at Toby. He is not messing around. I know he's not happy the way things have started this season.
Look at that squeeze coming out of the corner. There were 4 wide there, and I think one guy snuck to the inside, just kind of pushed everybody out.
Yeah, they sure did, and that's one of the advantages. These sleds don't like flat turns like that. They want to be banked and turned, and you can see Toby really launching that triple perfectly. But he's a little guy. Toby's not that big of a gentleman, so you see him through this corner. It's a struggle to get that machine turned.
Yeah, it's a struggle for everybody, especially in those first couple of laps, until that berm forms for that outside ski to kind of bite on.
Yeah, it sure is. And you see this outside's still faster right now, but it is going to change. Pay attention to this. Everyone's going to sit there and do that triple-double. Eventually, that triple-double is not going to be doable. Now that inside's going to be the one you're going to want to go to. And
watching Eric Downs there for a moment. Oh, Posty kicking a tough walk out the edge of the track there in the Skidoo corner, and Horbati doing the kind of passing that you expect to see here at Deadwood. Squeeze to the inside and elbows up.
Yeah, get used to that. If you don't like bumping and while you're racing, then this is probably not the track that you're going to want to race on. This one is going to have a lot of it. Oh,
look
wow.
at that. Kirchmeier, one mistake from Horbati, and Kirchmeier's going to return the favor and pop him out a little bit wide. That opens the door. Freeland gets alongside as well, so Freeland's going to jump up a spot in that whole fracas.
Yeah, Kirchmeier went from 7th all the way up to 4th, all in that one straightaway turn. So Kirchmeier making moves late in this heat and looking good. Like I said, a little bit on that edge, but it sure makes it fun to watch.
So he'll crank that south side Polaris sled off the corner there, being chased now by Freeland. That's the battle for 5th and 6th. Toby Posty, Bailey Forst, Eric Downs continued to be your top 3, and we see a yellow flag waving here. We had apparently an issue with one sled off the track just before the Amsoil finish line jump. It's one of the Arctic Cat sleds, so that might be the Uman number. Nope, that's the 153. That's Colton Krajcek. So Krajcek having an issue.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Does happen. All these manufacturers, they work so hard, but they are pushing them to the edge, and probably lost a belt or something like that. Unfortunate.
Now, I noticed something, and if we get the drone shot again of the triple come up, is Toby's changing his line for that triple because that one landing spot is starting to dish out and flatten out, so he's got to shifting over to the right a little bit to get the peak and get a landing ramp.
Yeah, you're right, and watch, he'll hit this, try to land on a little bit of a downside so he can get a good drive to double that. And if he doesn't get that good drive down, it's just going to be harder to get that next double. And he's kind of checking out here. 2.9 seconds up on Faust. He is, Bailey, of course. And his best lap time right now is at a 2.7. So he is kind of setting the pace. Nobody's even close right now.
And he looks comfortable. I mean, the white flag coming out here. And by comfortable, I mean it doesn't look like he's really being aggressive with his body to get this sled to maneuver where he wants it to go.
No, and that's exactly what he wants to do because he's just not that big of an individual. So he wants to be able to kind of flow, not take too much energy to get around the course.
Well, come down here through the U.S. Air Force Flyway, do the triple-double, and get to the checkered flag. So Toby Posty will pick up the win in our second Pro Light qualifier here in round 1. Second spot for Force. Downs finishes in 3rd. Kirchmeier comes through for 4th. So that's 2 down and 1 remaining as we look at the full results there. Freeland, Uman, and Horbati, and then Krajcek was off track after the issue that he had with the number 153 Arctic Cat sled. Of course, we get to come back and do it all again here tomorrow at Deadwood for round 6. And then we're going to enjoy a weekend off. And then we're headed north of the border, Bienvenue au Canada.
That's right. Canada, Valcourt, Quebec. That is one of the funnest events. I remember back in my day racing, I always enjoyed going out there. It's a lot of history. Obviously, Ski-Doo Factory being there.
And if you have FloRacing, you'll be able to see the action from Valcourt. If you don't have FloRacing, I'd suggest you get it.
Yeah, sure thing.
All right, doing a little grooming and cleanup work on course here, and a couple of spots. Well, you see they're filling a low spot here on the right-hand side of your screen, kind of pushing the snow around through that inside lane, getting everything groomed up and ready to go. You can follow along with us, folks, for AMSOIL Championship Snocross on a variety of platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and X. And you might even see a shot or two of this on our social medias today. This is Kevin in the Pertec groomer, and I'm calling this a dirt track groomer because it has no windshield.
Yeah, unfortunately, he had a little issue there. And Kevin, he's been working his tail off for sure. This has been fun to see.
Yeah, they
building some really good tracks this year.
Yeah, the city of Deadwood, after the last big snowfall here, was able to move all the snow here inside the Days of 76 rodeo grounds. But a guy like Kevin, to figure out what you're going to construct and then be able to do it, that's a multi-day operation. It's not easy.
Yeah, it sure is. And that's one thing you touched on, and I'm glad you brought it up, was the natural snow that we're racing on. There's a little bit of man-made snow out there, but it's mostly natural snow, and it does form a little different. It's not the same. It'd be similar to like going ice skating on natural ice or artificial ice.
Right.
There's just that little bit of difference, and these riders definitely know it, feel it, and some of them have complained a little bit more than normal because it isn't what we typically will race on. It's usually some man-made snow.
And the way you can tell the snow is wet is the sticky test. Look at how it's all stuck on the back of the groomer blade, and it's sticking to sticking to everything. It's like Velcro.
It sure is.
All right, third heat, final heat in round one of Pro Lite. Dylan Rose, been waiting for him to break through and win one here. He's been the fastest he's been in a few years. Trent Whitwer, some great momentum coming out of Shakopee. And of course, Creighton Dillon. Right now, Creighton is the man.
Yeah, Creighton lined up right in that center, but Adam Ashline showed a lot of speed so far this year. I like what I've seen out of him, and obviously, this class is so stacked. There's so many good riders out there. You need just a little bit of confidence, a little breakthrough. That's all it takes, and one rider can be off to the races.
Now, after the 2 rounds of qualifying here for Pro Lite, for those of you who are uninitiated to AMSOIL Championship Snocross, the top 10 that have scored points through the 2 rounds of qualifying, they will be locked into the front row for the Pro Lite final. That's going to leave us with another, say, 16, 17 riders. Well, the next 10 are going to go into what's called an LCQ, last chance qualifier. Top 5 out of that go to the back row of the Pro Lite final.
Yeah, LCQ, not where you want to be, but it might be like all you have to lay or to rest on. So obviously, you never want to give up. If you do crash, if something happens, just get up, try to get yourself some points, some positions, and get yourself back in there.
And that leads to the next point I wanted to bring up with you, Robbie, which we haven't talked about yet, that I can sum up in 2 words: traffic jam.
Yeah, there is a lot of that. This first corner off the start, if you go to that inside, it can get a little thick in that first corner. So,
hey kids, you having fun? I love our young fans and our older fans and all the fans in between. Great crowd on hand here on a picture-perfect night for AMSOIL Championship Snocross. It's not even that cold. Looks like, is that Ava McCurdy down there? Yeah, it might be. Scoping out the action. You're not going to miss that FXR jacket. That's nice work there, man. Here's some of the Theme Motorsports crew over pit side.
That's right. Got Steve Shearing down there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Shearing Speed Sports.
He just turned around like, are you talking about me?
What? What'd you say? All right, here we go. Again, pay attention to the 96, red background right in the center. Creighton Dillon. His starts have been on point all season.
Let's see if he can pull the whole shot this time. Didn't look like it out of the box, and no, it's not going to be the case. As they will battle their way down here into the Arctic Cat corner and out the other side. Looks like, is that Whitwer at the head of the class? Look at that.
Trent Whitwer showed up at Canterbury, got a podium. Haven't heard his name in a while, but he is ready to play, and he gets a bump and a grinding back there. Points leader,
Yeah, Dylan Rose got a good start. He's up in the thick of the mix here as well, along with Creighton Dillon and Ashline. So the cream is kind of rose to the top here pretty quickly, but we're going to see some battling here now as Dillon goes to the inside, looking to get that second spot away from Dylan Rose on that D&D number 12 machine. Trying to cut under, and that is so hard to do coming off that flat FXR corner.
Yeah, when there's no berm there to push, you got to be really patient. You can't rush it. If you try to rush it, you're going to bump into somebody, end up chancing of falling over. But watch this. If he can get a run, Creighton can get the pass done, and it looks like he has got it.
Yeah, he had a better run through the inside than Dillon did on the outside. And now Adam Ashline's going to be knocking at the door on the black sled that is trailing the bunch here. He's in the 4th position. Dillon now holding on to the number 2 position, I believe, behind Whitwer, who is, looks like at least a couple of seconds to the good in front right now.
Yeah, he sure is. And obviously having a little scoring issue with Whitwer out front. He is our leader, so.
And Trent putting that Arctic Cat comfortably through its paces. Taking that inside, then kind of flaring off towards the middle. Will at any point this evening, Robbie, will we see guys switch lanes on that halfway through?
Absolutely. You're going to see a lot of that. Right now, the track just hasn't developed to where you need to. But as the racing wears on, as we get into these races, it's going to change a lot. And with all these short laps, you're going to see a lot of that.
Yeah, lap times earlier today in practice and qualifying, 20 and a half for the pros, about 21.5 for pro light. And that's kind of where we are now. We're in the 20 to 21.5 range.
Yeah. You see Whitwer, he's taking some different lines. I really like how he's being creative out there. You see after the finish line, he is going to go way inside. No one's really even went there before, but really sets him up nice. Watch, he's going to pivot. Oh, there. Now they're both kind of going there. So the line is obviously developed different.
It's almost like watching a sprint car driver on a dry slick track, just real easy into the throttle so you don't spin the track on the back end and just get no power down.
Yeah. Watch Creighton. He is pretty clever as a racer himself too. He's going to look for lines, and he's kind of closed that gap back on Whitwer. So
yeah. He's coming.
This race is far from over.
And he's got a little bit of time. Not a lot, but maybe just enough. We'll have to see what happens here. They should see the white flag. So here we go. It's going to be a one-lap shootout. The veteran Whitwer against the guy that's dominated the class so far in Dillon. Place your bets.
And look at Dillon. He's going to go for it.
Let's see what happens at the split. They're both going to go to the inside, but Creighton, man, look at the run he gets. Does he have enough room to try to make a pass as they come to the Amsoil finish line? No! Missed it by half a sled length.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that goes to show you, there's some players in this class. Obviously, Creighton's been dominant, but a guy like Trent Whitwer can show up and close it out like that.
I bet you'll see Whitwer smile from the pit area in Rapid City after that one.
Yeah.
So Whitwer gets the win over Creighton Dillon, Dylan Rose, Ashline, and Jeremy Beaulieu as your top 5. This is the U.S. Air Force Snocross National, round 5 of Amsoil Championship Snocross. And when we come back, the Triple Crown for Amsoil Pro begins.
It's different. It's epic, extreme, exhilarating. A season for fresh tracks, big smiles, and living in the moment with your crew. When the temperature goes down, the excitement goes up. And when the snow falls, the adventures begin. This is Ski-Doo season. Get out there and experience your best winter yet.
Everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, hit me up with my homies, and we do it all again.
He had a tough run in Canterbury. He was fast. He was going for it. I really thought he had it to win.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately...
Oh, yeah. His foot is a hot mess.
Him and Adam Peterson got into it, and you can see that poor ankle. Well, there is an ankle underneath all that swelling, of course.
Yeah.
But he toughed it out, and he had the fastest lap time in practice. That is one thing that Cody, he's a tough kid. He's gonna fight through this, and if he gets out front early, the adrenaline will go through him, and he will go for us. And I like what I see all year. I've liked what I've seen out of Cody.
Yeah, I've seen it happen before here in the Samsoil Pro class, especially here at Deadwood. You know, this place is tailor-made for some rider styles, and others, they got to try to change and adapt, and it's not always an easy thing to do.
No, it isn't. He said it in his interview. He likes this tight riding, and he is one guy, one tough cookie. So pay attention to Cody and see the 5'11".
Oh, yeah, Jordan Lavelle.
I feel like this is his kind of coming out party a little bit. He showed a little bit of that in Canterbury. Looked really good. Obviously got that one Triple Crown win, but
Evan Dowd alongside him to one side, and to the other side is the number 81 machine, Gustav Zalston, our AMSOIL Dominator winner earlier this season. There's Francis Peltier with the 220 Skidoo. To the far inside, he was also fast in practice. Jacob Yerk, he's had a love-hate relationship with this place.
Yeah, Jake has just got to get some consistency going. He has always been fast, but then he'll follow it up with some so-so results, and Jake has the speed. Like I said again, the consistency, and we're getting ready to go. They're pulling the line. We're within probably a minute before this race starts. They're on the hot start button, so the 30-second board is out.
3 races, lowest point total wins. So who will strike first in the AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown here in the Black Hills of South Dakota? Let's let them loose and find out.
Elias Ishwell gets the start.
Stud boy hole shot going to the Viking rocket, but we've got them 2 and 3 wide behind, and they are all going to come flying in and flying out, chasing Cody Cam.
Look at Cody. He is going to go for it, but Elias is right there. And watch the cat and mouse game that these two are going to play right here. Oh, wow.
Oh, Cody goes out wide. Elias
almost
up.
Yeah, he got a little love from the back there. That's his former teammate.
Yeah. They don't have bumpers on these, but it's going to look like they might need them here in Deadwood tonight. It is going to be fast, furious, and physical. Time to race here. 8 minutes plus 1 lap. So you can keep track of the time in the upper left corner of your screen as we watch the lead battle here between Cam and Elias Ishwell.
Yeah, but look who got into third there. That's Cody's teammate, Har. He is a tough runner. He will get up there and battle. And I know he's not really satisfied the way last weekend, 2 weekends ago went. So watch for Har to push late in this race.
There's Ishwell again sitting in just behind Cody Cam and trying to tuck to the inside there, not to really get a faster run, but just get out of the roost and get some clear vision to plan his attack.
That is it. Vision is going to be key throughout tonight. Vision is everything, and Cody having that hole shot is basically giving himself that huge advantage, but he's going to get into lappers really soon here with this tight course.
So is it better to be chased or be the one chasing?
You want to be out front. Look at this, 221 of Benham got around Har, so he's moved himself back up in third.
Yeah, Daniel Benham giving that Arctic Cat a ride here in this first of the 3 Triple Crown main events for AMSOIL Pro, closing in on 6 minutes plus a lap to go.
And Benham qualified in that top 5 today in practice, so he has showed some speed, and we're not used to seeing Har go the wrong direction, go backwards like that. So Benham obviously doing something special. And look at this pass.
Oh boy, stand him up on top of the berm. Old school motocross pass.
Yeah, unfortunately though, what's happening is that's slowing them down as they battle back and forth right there.
And that was Jordan LaBelle's sled. You could just see there in the left side of the screen, that sled's been pulled to the infield. So Jordan is out here in main event number 1.
Poor kid has not done himself any favors. His rookie debut
Well, the good news is he's walking around the sled. He's fine. Don't know if he had an offer or mechanical.
Yeah, obviously something with that sled because he wouldn't quit. So Har back to third. Cam out front, 1.5 seconds up on Elias. And you can see Elias, he's pushing right now. He's looking for something.
And he just found a different line there. He jumped across the start of that Arctic Cat corner. We'll see if he tries that again on this lap because it looked like it closed that interval up for him.
Yeah, it sure did. You know, watch Cody though. He's pretty calm right now. I love what I'm seeing out of Cody. He is so relaxed, and that's what it's gonna take because you gotta be calm. You can't force it. But yeah, watch that line. Oh, it's right there. Oh, unfortunately though, he might have showed Cody that line too early.
Oh, and it got off rhythm going through the U.S. Air Force flyway too, and he had to kind of check up a little bit, get himself gathered back up, but he's going to stay charging.
He is, but watch Cody. He will adjust his line now that he knows that he's got something. Yeah, well, he did kind of change it, but now Elias going outside. He's going to work that outside line.
So he triples his way in, but that double actually slowed him down a little bit.
Yeah, it did. And Elias, a little off in practice today. He did have a crash, which was not totally like him. He is usually pretty solid and a little off, but
yeah, was actually trying to triple through the rhythm section past the start line area. Wound up casing it on top of the third jump.
And
speaking
Elias,
of casing,
big case, big mistake. Now look at the gap, 1.9 seconds. He falls behind, and that was the breathing room like Cam's gonna need because look who's in front of Cody. He's starting to get into lappers, and you got, I think that's Bester. About to go a lap down.
Yeah, he's trying to get up alongside of him and make the move on him right now. Can't do it here off the U.S. Air Force flyaway. The Viking rocket jumping right back into the fray. He had a bobble. Do you think that's going to stop him? I don't think so. It's on.
Yeah, and unfortunately right now what I'm seeing out of Cody is he hasn't been able to ride and practice this last few weeks, and that is starting to show up. You can see his posture. He's just a little fatigued right now, and he's going to have to dig ultra deep to try to hold off Elias.
That's Riley Bester on the Red Bull Levante Polaris that was to the outside of them, occupying the lane there so that they couldn't get side by side. Whoa, and look at Ishel, crossed it up. He's going to go top. No, he's going to stay on the bottom and try to cut under. Not yet.
Yeah, and he was just trying to get out of the roost. That's all he was trying to do. Get himself so he can get some clear vision, stay on the gas, and Cody, he's going to have to ride really, really smart right now because Elias is pretty hungry, and I know he's feeling that right now. Those 2 weeks of sitting on the couch trying to heal that ankle, it is coming back to him.
And he's still got to last another 2.5 minutes plus 1 lap, and he's dealing with lappers, and the track's getting rougher. And oh, by the way, whoa, the 5-time champion almost ended it.
He almost threw it away. Elias, he needs to just maybe take a breath, take a beat, and plan his attack. He is pushing maybe a little too hard. You see a lot of mistakes right now out of him. He should just relax. He knows Cody's fatigued a little bit and feeling it.
And one thing we want to point out for our Fox Sports viewers is that in previous years, there would be a spotter and the racer would have that information in their ear, but that has been disallowed. So there is no two-way communication between the spotter and the rider. You've got to know where they're coming from and what you're going to do all on your own.
Yeah, you sure do. And that was a massive advantage for the riders. Not so good for the racing, in my opinion. I like not having that communication. So the rider has to decide inside, outside, where does he need to go. And you can see all that snow. Look how the track has changed in this final. And I'm just so impressed right now with Cody. He is riding unbelievable. I know his lungs are burning, his legs are burning, his arms are burning, but he is just fighting through this and showing some amazing heart.
And this would really be a huge statement to the rest of the field as well, that Cody Cam, with the bad wheel, can come out here and hold off the 5-time champ and win the first leg of the Triple Crown. That would serve notice to the rest of this field.
Yeah, it sure will, but look who's lingering in that 3rd spot as we get down to about a minute to go. We've got the 31 of Har. He is putting in some fast lap times right now. He is the fastest on the track.
And he can see 2nd place, Elias Ishul, a little bit through that roost as they come back down towards the Arctic Cat and Polaris turns. The clock is ticking away for Cody Cam.
Yeah, it sure is, but Elias, he's going to be experiencing some pressure here.
And I tell you, it's going to be close. Let's see if Cody Cam gets to the line and the clock has already hit 0, 1 more lap. If it hasn't zeroed out, 2 more laps.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Wow.
Oh, Har almost came off, but look at this.
Peltier going to stack up alongside. Oh, they're banging bars.
They sure are.
Wow. And then there looked like a little mistake, and Benham just jumped on Peltier. And not literally, but figuratively jumped alongside.
Yeah, and Elias has moved to the lead. Elias got around Cody.
Wow. Everything happening at once here in the closing moments of this first AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown race here at the U.S. Air Force Snocross National. Cody Cam holding on for so long, but the lap that matters the most to be the leader of is the last one, and we're on it, and Ishul is up front.
Yeah, he is, but the way Elias was riding earlier, don't count his whoa, I don't know what he's doing there. He's looking all over. He's got to focus ahead.
They come barreling through. Har's going to make a run at his teammate for 2nd as we come down to the checkered flag. Main event number 1 goes to Ishul. The race for 2nd. Cam barely holds off Har.
I'll tell you what, I mean, congrats to Elias. That was an amazing race, but Cody Cam, that was an amazing effort. Super nice to see that. Obviously, he wanted the win, but Elias was able to manage that win at the end.
We told you it was going to be a wild and crazy night in the wild, wild west. Let's look at the moves here that were happening on track. There's Cody. Gets a little too much air there, ish. Oh, look at that. It's almost like a wheelie tap.
Yeah, and Cody got roosted right out of that corner, and he had to go and do a little wipe on the goggles. unfortunately gave up that spot.
All right, let's check in with Nolan now with the winner of our first AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown main event.
Elliot Sischel picking up the win in Triple Crown leg number 1. You followed Cody around for a lot of that race. How important was it to be patient on a tight track like this?
Oh, for sure. It's just falling out there. It's not much to do. Like, we're 15 guys in the class, and on practice we're everyone inside 1 second, so it's so tight. And yeah, just trying to stay smarter. And yeah, when I kind of had the chance to pass him, I took it. So yeah, good start of the night, and let's take it from there and move on.
Good luck the rest of the way. Elliot Sischel, winner of leg number 1 of the Triple Crown.
1 down, 2 to go, and the defending champ has fired the first shot in this showdown.
Yeah, he sure did. He looked just picked up where he left off, and that was a solid effort. But
well, the pros are going to go back into the pit area and get ready for AMSOIL Pro main event number 2. When we come back, it is the Pro-Am women's turn to shine in the heart of the Black Hills. You're watching the U.S. Air Force Snocross National AMSOIL Championship Snocross on FloRacing.